The Book of Judges was crazy. Chapter 1. And now it came to pass in the days when the judge ruled that there was a famine in the land. A certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, went to sojourn in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his two sons, and the name of the man was Elimelech, and the name of his wife was Naomi, and the name of his two sons Mahlon and Chilion, Ephraite and Bethlehem, Judah. And they came into the country of Moab and continued there. And Elimelech, Noah's husband, died, and she was left and her two sons. And he took them wives of the women of Moab, and the name of one was Orpah, and the name of the other was Ruth. And they dwelt there about 10 years. And Mahlon and Chilion died also, both of them, and the women left of her two sons and her husband. And she arose with her daughters in law, that returned from the country of Moab, for she had heard in the country of Moab how that the Lord had visited his people and giving them bread. Wherefore she went forth out of the place where she was, and her two daughters in law with her, and they went on the way, turned unto the land of Judah. And Naomi said unto her two daughters in law, go return each to her mother's house. The Lord deal kindly with you, as ye have dealt with the dead and with me. And the Lord grant you that ye may find rest each of you in the house of her husband. Kiss them. And they lifted up their voice and wept. And they said unto her, surely we will return with thee unto thy people. And Naomi said, turn again, my daughters. Why will ye with me? Are there yet any more sons in my womb, that they may be your husband? Turn again, my daughter, go your way, for I am too old to have an husband. If I should say I have hope, if I should have an husband also tonight, and should also bear sons, will ye tarry for them till they were grown? Will ye stay for them from having husbands? Nay, my daughters, for it grieveth me much for your sake, that the hand of the Lord is gone out against me. And they lifted up their voice and wept again, and Orpah kissed her mother-in-law, but Ruth clave unto her. And she said, behold, thy sister-in-law is gone back unto her people, and unto her gods returns out after thy sister-in-law. And Ruth said, entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For whither thou goest, I will go, and where that thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, thy God my God. Where thou diest will I die, there will I be buried. The Lord did so to me. The Lord also, if thou death part thee in me. And she saw that she was steadfastly minded to go with her, and she left speaking unto her. So they two went until they came to Bethlehem. It came to pass, when they were come to Bethlehem, that all the city was moved about them. And they said, is this Noemi? And she said unto them, call me not Noemi, call me Mara. For the Almighty has dealt very bitterly with me. I went out full, and the Lord has brought me home again empty. Why then call ye Noemi, seeing the Lord has testified against me, and the Almighty has afflicted me? So Naomi returned, and Ruth the Moabite, her daughter, with her, which returned out of the country of Moab. And they came to Bethlehem in the beginning of early harvest. Chapter 2. And Naomi had a kinsman of her husband, a mighty man of wealth, of the family of Elimelech. His name was Boaz. And the root and Ruth, and the Moabites, said unto Naomi, let me now go to the field and glean ears of corn. After him, in whose sight I shall find grace. And she said unto her, go, my daughter. She went and came and gleaned the field after reapers, and her hat was white on a part of the field belonging unto Boaz, who was of the kindred of Elimelech. Behold, Boaz came from Bethlehem and said unto the reapers, the Lord be with you. And they answered him, Lord bless you. Says Boaz unto his servant that was set over reapers, whose damsel is the servant that was set over the reapers answered Moabitess damsel that came back with Naomi out of the country of Moab. And she said, I pray you, let me glean and gather after the reapers among the sheaves, came and hath continued even from the morning until now, that she tarried a little in the house. Then said Boaz unto Ruth, hearest thou not, my daughter? Go not to glean another field, neither go from hence, but abide her here. Fast by, my maiden, let thine eye be on the field, that they do reap, and go thou after them. Have I not charged the young men that they shall not touch thee? When thou art asserted, go unto the vessel and drink of that which the young men have drowned. Then she fell on her face and bowed herself to the ground and said unto him, why have I found grace in thine eyes, that thou shouldest take knowledge of me? Um, then she fell on her face and bowed herself to the ground and said unto him, why have I found grace in thine eyes, that thou shouldest take knowledge of me, saying, I am a stranger? And Boaz answered, said unto her, it hath fully been true me, all that thou hast done unto thy mother-in-law, since the death of thine husband, and how thou hast left thy father and thy mother in the land of thy nativity, and art come unto a people thou knewest not heretofore. And the Lord recompense thy work, and a full reward be given thee of the Lord God of Israel. Under those wings thou art come to trust. Then said, Let me find favor in thy sight, my Lord, for that thou hast spoken friendly unto thine handmaid. Thou I be not like unto one of thine handmaidens. And Boaz said unto her, At mealtime come thou hither and eat of the bread, and dip thy morsel in the vinegar. Sat beside the reed. He reached her parts full to eat and was suffied and left. And when she was risen up to go, Boaz commanded his young men, saying, Let her glean even among the sheep, and reproached her not. And let fall also some of the handful of purpose for her, leave them, that she may glean them and rebuke her not. So she gleaned in the field unto even out that she had gleaned, and it was about an ephah of barley. And she took it up and went into the city, and her mother in the fall saw what she had gleaned, and brought forth and gave to her that she had reserved after she suffered. Her mother-in-law said unto her, Where hast thou gleaned today? And where wroughest thou blessed be that did not take knowledge of thee? And she shewed her mother-in-law, with whom she had brought, said, The man's name was whom I brought today is Boaz. And Naomi said unto her daughter-in-law, Blessed be he of the Lord, who hath not left off his kindness to the living and to the dead. And Naomi said unto her, The man is near of kin unto us, one of our next kinsmen. The Ruth the Moabites said, He said unto me, Also thou shalt keep fast by my young men until they have tended all my harvest. And Naomi said unto Ruth, her daughter-in-law, It is good, my daughter, that thou go out with his maidens, that they meet thee not in any other field. So she kept fast by the maiden and Boaz to glean unto the end of barley, harvest and wheat, harvest, and dwelt with her mother-in-law. Put some ice in that. Did on chapter 4. Chapter 3. Then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said unto her, My daughter, shall I not seek rest for thee, not it may be dwell with thee? Now is not Boaz of our kindred, whose maiden thou wast, behold, he winnoweth barley tonight, threshing floor. Wash thyself therefore, and anoint thee, and put thy raiment upon thee, get thee down to the floor, but make not thyself known unto the man until thou have done eating and drinking. And it shall be when he lies down that thou shalt mark the place where he shall lie, and thou shalt go in and uncover his feet and lay thee down, and he will tell thee what thou shalt do. And she said unto her, All that thou sayest unto me, I will do. And she went down onto the floor and did according to all that her mother-in-law bade her. And when Boaz had eaten and drunk, and his heart was merry, he went to lie down at the end of the heap of corn. She came softly, uncovered his feet, and laid her down. It came to pass at midnight that the man was afraid and turned himself, and behold, a woman lay at his feet. He said, Who art thou? And she answered, I am Ruth, thine handmaid. Spread therefore thy skirt over thine hand. Thou art a near kinsman. He said, Blessed be thou of the Lord, my daughter, for thou hast shewed more kindness at latter end than at beginning, inasmuch as thou followedest that young man, whether poor or rich. And now, my daughter, fear not, I will do to thee all that thou requirest, for all the city of my people ought to know that thou art a virtuous woman. And now it is true that I am thy near king's, albeit there is king's near, and I tarry this night, and it shall be that if he will born unto art a king's, will let him do the kingsman part. But if he will not do the part of the kingsman, I do the part of a kingpin. As the Lord liveth, lie down unto the morning. And she lay at his feet until the morning. She rose up before one could know another. And he said, Let it not be known that a woman came into the court also to bring the veil that thou hadst upon thee, and hold it. And when he held it, he measured 6 measures barley, and laid it on her, went into the city. And when she came to her mother in law, she said, Who art thou, my daughter? He told her all that the man had done to her. Said, These 6 measures of barley gave he me, for he said to me, Go not empty unto thy mother. And said, He said, No, my daughter, unto thou know how the matter will fall. For the man will not be in rest until he have finished the day. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to get some ice for my drink. And we'll be doing chapter 4. I was about to click the wrong one. Chapter 4. Then went Boaz up to the gate and sat him down there, and behold, the kinsman of whom Boaz spoke came by, unto whom he said, Oh, such a one, turn aside, sit down here. And he turned aside and sat down. And he took 10 men of the elders of the city and said, Sit ye down here. And they sat down. And he said unto the kinsman, Know am I, that is come again out of the country of Moab, Selah Purcell of the land which was our brother Eli Melchos, and I thought to advertise. Stop scratching, Rex. Rex. It's gonna make it worse, or you're gonna keep on scratching at it. That guy let the dog out. All right. Where is he saying, buy it before the inhabitants and before the elders of my people. If thou wilt redeem it, redeem it. But if thou wilt not redeem it, then tell me that I may know, for there is none to redeem it besides thee, and I am after thee. And he said, I will redeem it. Then said Boaz, what day thou buyest the field of the land of Noami, thou must buy it also of Ruth, the Moabites, the wife of the dead, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance. And the kinsman said, I cannot redeem it for myself, lest I mar mine own inheritance. Redeem thou my right thyself, for I cannot redeem it. Now, this was the manner in former time in Israel concerning redeeming and concerning changing, for to confirm all things. A man plucked off his shoes and gave it to his neighbor. And this was testimony in Israel. Therefore the kinsman said unto Boaz, buy it, buy it before thee. So he drew off his shoes. And Boaz said unto the elders, unto all the people, ye are witnesses, say that I have all that was Elimelech's, and all that was Chilion and Mahlon's of the hand of Noemi. Moreover, Ruth the Moabite, the wife of Mahlon, have I purchased to be my wife, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance, that the name of the dead be not cut off from among his brethren, and from the gate of his place. Ye are witness this day. And all the people that were in the gate, the elders said, we are witness to the Lord. Make the women that is come into thine house, Rachel and like Leah, which two did build the house of Israel, and do thou worthily in Ephraim and the mouth of Bethlehem, and let thy house be the house of Pharez, whom Tamar bare unto Judah, of the seed which the Lord shall give thee of this young woman. The Boaz took Ruth, and she was his wife. And when he went in unto her, the Lord gave her conception. And she bare a son, and the woman said unto Naomi, blessed be the Lord, hast not left thee this day without a kinsman, that his name may be famous in Israel. And he shall be unto thee a restorer of thy life, and a nourisher of thine old age for thy daughter, which loveth thee, which is better to thee than 7 sons hath borne him. And Naomi took the child and laid it in her bosom, became nurse unto it. And the woman her neighbor gave it a name, saying, there is a son born Naomi, and they called his name Obed. He the father of Jesse, the father of David. Now these are generations of Pharez. Pharez begat Hezron. Hezron begat Ram, and Ram begat Amminadab. And Amminadab begat Noshan, and Noshan begat Salmon. Salmon begat Boaz, and Boaz begat Obed. Obed begat Jesse, and Jesse begat David. Birth was an extremely short storyline. Well, book, I mean, very short. Completed that in like 30 minutes. Samuel, chapter 1. Let me take a picture. Chapter 1, Samuel. Now there was a certain man of Ramathaim Zophim of Mount Ephraim, and his name was Elkanah, son of Jeram, son of Elu, the son of Toha, the son of Zut, and Ephrathite. And he had two wives. The name of the one was Hanan, and the name of the other was Hanun. Hanun had children, but Hanan had no children. But this man went up out of his city yearly to worship and to sacrifice unto the Lord of hosts. And Shala and two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, priests of the Lord, were there. And when the time was that Elkanah offered, he gave to Peninnah his wife, and to all her sons, her daughters, portions, but unto Hannah he gave worthy portion, for that he loved Hannah, but the Lord has shut up the womb. And her adversary also provoked her sore for to make her fret, because the Lord had shut up her womb. And as he did so year by year, when she went up to the house of provoked her, therefore she wept and did not eat. Then said Elkanah her husband to her, Hannah, why weepest thou, and why eatest thou not? Why is thy heart grieved? Am I not better than 10 sons? So Hannah rose up after they had eaten Shilah, and after they had drunk. Now Eli, priest, sat upon a high post of the temple of the Lord. She was bitterness of soul, and prayed unto the Lord, and wept sore. He vowed a vow, said, O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt endure the affliction of thine handmaid, and remember me, not forget thine handmaid, but wilt give unto thy handmaid a man child, that I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life. And there shall no razor come upon his head. It came to pass as she continued praying before the Lord, and Eli marked her mouth. Now Hannah spoke in her heart, only her lips knew, but her voice was not heard. Therefore Eli thought she had been drunken. And Eli said unto her, How long wilt thou be drunken? Put away thy wine from thee. And Hannah answered and said, No, I am a woman of a sorrowful spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink. I have poured out my soul before the Lord. Count not thy handmaid for a daughter of Belial, for out of the abundance of my complaint, in grief have I spoken hereto. And Eli answered and said, Go in peace, and the God of Israel grant thee thy petition that thou hast asked of him. And she said, Let thine handmaid find grace in thy sight. So the woman went her way, not eat, in her continuance was no more sad. And they rose up in the morning early to worship before the Lord. Return came to their house. Ramah and Elkanah knew Hannah his wife, and the Lord remembered her. Wherefore it came to pass, when the time was to come about after Hannah had conceived, that she bare a son, and called his Samuel, saying, Because I have asked him of the Lord. And the man Elkanah, all his house, went up to offer unto the Lord a yearly sacrifice. But Hannah went not up, for she said unto her husband, I will not go up until the child be born, and then I will bring him, that he may appear before me. There abide. And Elkanah her husband said unto her, See what seemeth carry unto thou have only the Lord established his word. So the woman abode, gave her son suck. And when she had weaned him, took him up with her bull, 1 ephah of flour, bottle of wine, brought him unto the house of Eli, and the child was young. They brought the child to Eli. Oh, my Lord, thy soul, my Lord, I am the Lord, I teach, praying unto the Lord. For this shall I pray, the Lord hath given me petition which I ask of him, therefore also I have lent him to the Lord. As long as he liveth, he shall be lent to the Lord. And he worshipped the Lord there. Chapter 2. And Hannah prayed and said, my heart rejoiced, in the Lord mine horn is exalted, and the Lord my mouth is enlarged over my enemies, because I rejoice in thy salvation. There is none holy as the Lord, for there is none besides you, neither is there any rock like our God. Talk no more to exceeding proudly, let not a range come out of your mouth, for the Lord is a God of knowledge, and by him actions are weighed. About the bows of the mighty men are broken, and they that stumbled are girded with strength, that they that were full have hired out themselves for bread, and that they that were hungry feast, so that the barren hath borne 7, and she that hath many children is waxed feeble. The Lord killeth and maketh alive, he bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich, he bringeth low and lifteth up. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust, and lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill, to set them among princes, and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillars of the earth are the Lord, and he hath set the world upon them. He will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness, for by strength shall no man prevail. The adversaries of the Lord shall be broken to pieces out of heaven. Shall he sunder upon them, the Lord shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give his strength unto his king, and exalt the horn of his anointed. And Elkanah went to Ramah to his house, and the children did minister unto the Lord before Eli the priest. Now the sons of Eli were sons of Bela. They knew not the Lord. And the priest's custom with the people was that when any man offered sacrifice, the priest servant came while the flesh was in seasoning, with a flesh hook of 3 teeth in his hand. He struck it into the pan, or kettle, or cauldron, or pot, all that the flesh hook brought up, the priest took for him. So they did, and Shelah unto all the Israelites that came thither. Also, before they burnt the fat, the servant came and said to the man that sacrificed, give flesh to roast for the priest, for he will not have slaughter flesh of thee, but raw. And if any man said unto him, let them not fall to burn the fat previously, and then take as much as thy soul desire, then he would answer him, nay, but thou shalt give it me. And if not, I would take it by force. Wherefore the sin of the young man was very great before the Lord, for men abhorred the offering of Samuel went before the Lord, and child girded linen ephod, Moreover, his mother made him a little coat and brought it to him from a year to year, when she came up with her husband to offer the yearly sacrifice. And Eli blessed Elkanah his wife and said, "The Lord give thee seed of this woman for the loan which is lent." They went on to their own. The Lord visited Hannah so that she conceived and bare 3 sons. Child Samuel grew. Eli was very old, heard all that his son did unto all Israel, how they lay with the women that assembled at the door of the congregation. And he said unto them, "Why do ye such things? For I hear of your evil all this. Nay, my son, for it is no good report that I hear you make the Lord people transgress. If one man sin against another, the judge shall judge him. But if a man sin against the Lord, he shall entreat. Notwithstanding, hearken not unto the voice of their father, because the Lord will slay them." The children Samuel grew on and was a favorite both with the Lord also. There came a man of God unto Eli and said unto him, saith, Lord, did I plainly appear unto the house of thy father when they were in Egypt, in Pharaoh's house, and did I choose him out of all the tribes of Israel, my priest, to offer upon mine altar to burn incense, to wear an ephod before me. I give unto the house of thy father all the offerings made by fire of the children of Israel. Wherefore kick ye at my sacrifice, and at mine offering, which I have commanded my inhabitation, and honor thy son above me. Make yourselves fat with the best of all the offerings. Wherefore the Lord God of Israel saith, I said, thy and the house of thy father shall walk before me forever. But now the Lord saith, it far, far from me for them that honor are. I will honor, and they that despise me shall be lightly esteemed. Behold, the days come that I will cut off thine arm and the arm of thy father's house, that there shall not be an old man in thy house. And thou shalt see an enemy in my inhabitants, all the wealth which God hath shall give Israel, and there shall not be an old man in thy house. And the man of thine womb I shall not cut off from mine altar, shall be in thine eyes, grieve thine heart. All the increase of thine house shall die, flower of the age. And this shall be a sign unto thee, that shall come upon thy 2 sons, on Ephon and Phinehas, and one day they shall die. I will raise me up a faithful priest, that shall do that mine heart and in my mind. I will build him a sure house. He shall walk before mine anointed forever. And it shall come to pass that every one that is left in thine house shall come and crouch to him for a piece of silver and a morsel of bread, and shall say, Put me, I pray thee, into one of the priest's offers, that I may eat a piece of bread. There's certain drinks that actually taste pretty good when it's warm. Then there's other drinks that taste disgusting when they're warm, and they need ice to be good when they're cold. Chapter 3. And the children Samuel ministered unto the Lord before Eli, and the word of the Lord was precious in those days. There was no open vision. And it came to pass at that time, Eli was laid down in his place, and his eyes began to wax dim, that he could not see. And ere the lamp of God went out in the temple of the Lord, where the ark of God was, and Samuel was laid down to sleep. That the Lord called Samuel, and he answered, Here am I. And he ran unto Eli, said, Here am I, for thou callest me. And he said, I called not, lie down again. And he went and lay down. The Lord called yet again Samuel. And Samuel arose and went to Eli and said, Here am I, for thou didst call me. And he answered, I called not, my son. Lie down again. Now Samuel did not yet know the Lord, neither was the word of the Lord yet revealed unto him. And the Lord called Samuel again the third time. And he arose and went to Eli and said, Here am I, for thou didst call me. And Eli perceived that the Lord had called the child. Therefore Eli said unto Samuel, Go lie down, and it shall be, if he calls thee, that thou shalt say, Speak, Lord, for thy servant heareth. So Samuel went and lay down in his place. And the Lord came and stood and called as at other times, Samuel, Samuel. Samuel answered, Speak, for thy servant heareth. And the Lord said to Samuel, Behold, I will do a thing in Israel, at which both the ears of everyone that heareth it shall tingle. And that day I will perform against Eli all the things which I have spoken concerning his house. When I begin, I will also make an end. For I have told him that I will judge his house forever for the what he which he knoweth, because his son made themselves vile, and he restrained them not. And therefore I have sworn unto the house of Eli that the quantity of Eli's house shall not be purged with sacrifice nor offering forever. Samuel lay unto the morning and opened the doors, the house of the Lord, and Samuel feared to shew the vision. Eli called Samuel and said, Samuel, my son. And he answered, Here am I. And he said, What is the thing that the Lord hath said unto thee? I pray thee, hide it not from me. God do warn also, if thou hide anything from me of all the things that he said unto thee. And Samuel told him every whit, and hid nothing from him. And he said, It is the Lord, let him do what seemeth him good. Samuel grew, and the Lord was with him, and did let none of his words fall to the ground. For all Israel from Dan even to Beersheba knew that Samuel was established to be a prophet of the Lord. And the Lord appeared again in Shiloh, for the Lord revealed himself to Samuel in Shiloh by the word of the Lord. Chapter 4. And the word of Samuel came to all Israel. Now Israel went out against the Philistines to battle and pitched beside Ebenezer. The Philistines pitched in Aphek. The Philistines put themselves in array against Israel, and when they joined battle, Israel was smitten before the Philistines, and they slew of the army in the field about 4,000 men. And when the people were come into the camp, the elders of Israel said, Wherefore has the Lord smitten us today before the Philistines? Let us fetch the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of Shiloh unto us, that when it cometh among us, it may save us out of the hand of our enemies. So the people sent to Shiloh, that they might bring from them thence the ark of the covenant of the Lord of hosts, which dwelleth between the cherubim. And the two sons of Eli, Aphan, and Philistines were that there with the ark of the covenant of God. And when the ark of the covenant of the Lord came into the camp, all Israel shouted with a great shout, so that the earth rang again. When the Philistines heard the noise of the shout, they said, what meaneth the noise of this great shout in the camp of the Hebrews? And they understood that the ark of the Lord would come into the camp. And the Philistines were afraid, for they said, God is come into the camp. And they said, woe unto us, for there has not been such a thing heretofore. Woe unto us, who shall deliver us out of the hand of these mighty gods? These are the gods that smote the Egyptians with all the plagues in the wilderness. Strong and quiet yourselves like men, O ye Philistines, that ye be not servants unto the Hebrews, as they have been to you. Quiet yourselves like men and fight. And the Philistines fought, and Israel was fighting, and they fled every man into his tent. There was a great slaughter, for there fell of Israel 30,000 footmen. The ark of God was taken, and the two sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were slain. And there ran a man of Benjamin out of the army, and came to Shiloh the same day with his clothes rent and with earth upon his head. And when he came to Lo Eli, sat upon a seat by the wayside, watching, for his heart trembled for the ark of God. When the man came into the city and told it, all the city cried out. When Eli heard the noise of the crying, he said, what meaneth noise of this tumult? And the man came in hastily and told Eli. Now Eli was 19 and 18 years old. His eyes were dim, that he could not see. And the man said unto Eli, I am he that came out of the army. I fled today out of the army. And he said, what is there done, my son? And the messenger answered, he said, Israel is fled before the Philistines. And there has been also a great slaughter among the people, and thy two sons also, Hophni and Phinehas, are dead, and the ark of God is taken. It came to pass, when he made mentions of the ark of God, that he fell from off the seat backward by the side of the gate, and his neck brake, and he died. For he was an old man and heavy, and he had judged it for 40 years. And his daughter-in-law, Phinehas' wife, was the child near to be delivered. And when she heard the tidings that the ark of God was taken, that her father-in-law and her husband were dead, she bowed herself and traveled, for her pains came upon her. About the time of her death, the woman that stood by her said unto her, fear not, for thou hast borne a son. But she answered not, neither did she regard it. She named the child Ichabod, saying, the glory is departed from Israel, because the ark of God was taken, and because of her father-in-law and her husband. And she said, the glory is departed from Israel, for the ark of God is taken. Chapter 5. And the Philistines took the ark of God and brought it from Ezben Ezer unto Ashdod. When the Philistines took the ark of God, they brought it into the house of Dagon and set it by Dagon. And when they of Ashdod arose early on the morrow, behold, Dagon was fallen upon his face for to the earth before the ark of the Lord, and they took Dagon and set him in his place again. And when they arose early on the morrow, behold, Dagon was fallen upon his face to the ground before the ark of the Lord. And the head of Dagon and both palms of his hands were cut off upon the threshold only the stump of Dagon was left up. Therefore neither the priests of Dagon, nor any that come into Dagon's house tread on the threshold of Dagon and Ashdod unto this day. But the hand of the Lord was heavy upon them, Ashdod, and he destroyed them, and smote them as emeralds, even Ashdod and the coast thereof. And when the men of Ashdod saw that it was so, they said, the ark of God of Israel shall not abide with us, for his hand is sore upon us, on Dagon our God. They sent, therefore, and gathered all the lords of the Philistines unto them, and said, what shall we do? The ark of God of Israel. And they answered, let the ark of God of Israel be carried about unto Gath. And they carried the ark of God. And it was so that after they had carried it about, the hand of the Lord was against the city with very great destruction. And he smote the men of the city, both small and great, and they had emeralds. Every part, therefore, they sent the ark of God to Ekron. It came to pass as the ark of God came to Ekron, that Ekronites cried out, saying, they have brought about the ark of God of Israel to us to slay us and our people. So he sent and gathered together all the lords of the Philistines, that sent away the ark of God of Israel, and let it go again to its own place, that it slay us not and our people, for there was a deadly destruction throughout all the city. The hand of God was very heavy there. The man that died not were smitten with the emeralds, and the cry of the sea went up to heaven. Chapter 6. And the ark of the Lord was in the country of Philistines 7 months. The Philistines called for the priests and diviners, saying, what shall we do to the ark of the Lord? Tell us wherewith we shall send it to his place. And they said, if ye send away the ark of God of Israel, send it not empty, but in any wise return him a trespass offering. Then ye shall be healed, and it shall be known to you why his hand is not removed from you, that they what shall be trespass offering, which we shall return to him. They answered 5 gold emeralds, 5 gold mice, according to the number of the Lord of the Philistines. For one plague was on on your lords. Wherefore ye make image of your emeralds, emeralds of mice that mar the land, and ye shall give glory unto the God of Israel. Peradventure he will lighten his hand from off you, from off your gods, and from off your land. Wherefore then do ye harden your hearts, as the Egyptians and Pharaoh hardened their hearts when he had wrought wonderful among them? Did they not let the people go, and they departed? Now therefore make a new cart, take 2 milks kine, on which there has come no yoke, and tie the kine to the cart, and bring their cows home from them. Take the ark of the Lord, and lay it upon the cart, and put the jewels of gold which he earned him for a trespass offering in a coffer by the side thereof, and send it away, that it may go. See if it goes up by the way of his own coast to Bethshemesh, and he has done us great evil. But if not, then we shall know that it is not his hand that smote us, it was a chance that happened to us. The men did so, and took 2 milk kine, and tied them to the cart, and shut up their cows at home. And they laid the ark of the Lord upon the cart, and offered with the mites of gold and the image of it. The kine took the straight way to the way of Bethshemesh, went along the highway, along blowing as they went, and turned not aside to the right hand or to the left. And lords of the Philistines went after them unto the board of Bethshemesh, and they Bethshemesh creating their wheat harvest valley, and they lifted up their eyes and saw the ark and rejoiced to see it. Their cart came into the field of Joshua, a Bethshemite, and stood there where there was a great stone, and they clave the wood of the cart and offered the kind of burnt offering unto the Lord. And the Levites took down the ark of the Lord, and the coffer that was with it, where the jewels of gold were, and put them on the great stone. And the men of Bethshemesh offered burnt offerings and sacrificed sacrifices that day unto the Lord. And when the 5 lords of the Philistines had seen it, they returned to Ekron the same day, and these are the golden emeralds which the Philistines returned for a trespass offering unto the Lord for Ashdod, one for Gaza, one for Ekron, for Gath, one for Ekron, one, and the golden mice, according to the number of all the cities of the Philistines belonging to the 5 lords, both fenced cities of countries, villages, even unto the great stone of Abel, whereon they sit down the ark of the Lord, which stone remaineth unto this day in the field of Joshua and Bethshemite. And he smote the men of Bethshemesh because they had looked into the ark of the Lord. Even he smote of the people 50,000 threescore 10 men, and the people lamented because the Lord had smitten many of the people with a great slaughter. And the men of Bethshemesh said, who is able to stand before this holy Lord God? And to whom shall he go up from us? And they sent messengers to the inhabitants of Kirjath-jearim, saying, Philistines have brought again the ark of the Lord. Come ye down and fetch it up to you. All right. I will be calling it here. Next Sunday, I will be doing chapter 7. I'd like to very appreciate every single one of y'all popping in. Um, but yeah, we're on the book of Samuel. But book of Samuel is pretty interesting, but I hope this one is long. Not like Ruth. But yeah, it's lunchtime. Like I said, I hope everyone have a great day. I hope y'all pop in next time to okay. I hope everyone come back next time and read a book of Samuel with me. But yeah. Hope everyone have a great day and a great night, and I'll see y'all next time.
I've been a walking heartache, I've made a mess of me. The person that I've been lately ain't who I wanna be, but you stay here right beside me and watch as the storm